Okay, for chapter 3, learning outcome, okay, hormones and puberty. This is the learning outcome. Define puberty, identify factor regulating puberty, state the stages of puberty, compare secondary sexual characteristic between male and female. Okay. Okay, and then relate hormonal level and stages and characteristic of puberty. I guess for this chapter 3, definition is simple enough. Comparing secondary sexual characteristic is simple enough. This one has been covered during high school too, unless any one of you is not in science stream during high school, so he or she might not cover it or might not know this one. Okay, so students who are from arts stream during high school, you can type your chat in the chat box if you need clarification on this secondary sexual characteristic. I guess I want to cover the more on hormonal, okay, hormonal levels with stages and characteristic of puberty. All right. Okay, this is definition. Stages of physical maturity. Basically, puberty is like a transition phase from a boy to a man, from a girl to a woman. Okay, to a woman. Yes. So it's a transition phase. So during this transition phase, biological transformation, physiological transformation. Sometimes we can see the puberty in terms of psychological transformation. Okay, from a girl to a woman, from a boy to a man. Okay, physical maturation with which an individual become physiological capable. So the keyword here, become physiological capable of sexual reproduction. So during adolescent or during childhood, during a boy like 2 or 3 years old boy, the genital part or the sexual reproduction is in not underdeveloped. It's going through development. Okay, so a boy is not incapable to undergo sexual reproduction. Same thing to a girl, incapable to undergo sexual reproduction. Okay, so encompasses physiological, morphological. So I have said this one. Okay. So it begins in late childhood, so about 8 years old or 9 years old. Okay, for girls and boys. You all now is an adult, so you have experienced this. Okay, in during secondary school, you also observe and experience this. We can see that the girls mature or undergo puberty earlier than the boys. Okay, so you can see that the years 8 to 13 years old for girls. So the girls will start earlier 1 year, and then later after that the boys will start to experience the puberty phase. Okay, years of puberty 2 to 3, meaning the duration. Okay, experiencing the transformation from a girl to a woman, from a boy to a man. Okay, so it characterized by maturation of hypothalamic pituitary gonadal axis. So hypothalamus, it involves the pituitary gland. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, anterior pituitary. Okay, and then gonad. Okay, so the interrelation between hypothalamus, anterior pituitary, or we just say pituitary, and the gonad, the interrelation between these three glands secreting hormones and making effect to the boys and the girls. Okay, so It will cause appearance of secondary sex characteristic, acceleration of growth. So suddenly we see the boys become taller faster. Okay, capacity for fertilization. Okay, so this graph here, yeah, you can see the height gain, okay, over the age. So suddenly at about 10 to 12, 11 years old, you can see the growth in female spike, okay, spike up or increasing, okay, and then about certain years old here, about 13 of yeah, 13 or 15, it will stop, become taller. So the height maintain that level, okay, or the yeah, the tall of that girl maintain to that level. Then we can see the purple color here, the male. It start later than the female, or yeah, the girls. Okay, the yeah, you can see it start about 12 years old. So or we can say 1 year after, plus minus. Okay, it's not exactly 1 year. Okay, sometimes 1 year plus, sometimes less than 1 year. Okay, so it depends on individual person. Okay, so you can see suddenly spike out in height, okay, and then at certain age it will stop. So this yes, this is centimeter. Okay, you can see age here is about this yeah, we have to read more here. This graph here says about 15 to 16 years old, but I think men and women can still gain height until like 19 or 20 years old. This so we have to read more on this, okay? If I'm not mistaken, article, scientific paper, okay, on growth. Okay, next. So this is the physiological changes. Physiology is meaning physiology, study of function, right? So physiological changes. So the 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 organ change and also the function of the organ. Okay, physiological. So in under physiological changes, biological changes. So you can see here neurosecretory factor and hormones. Meaning here neurosecretory factor and hormones. Maybe during baby, the secretion of certain hormones is less or absent. So when this baby boy or baby girls undergo puberty, suddenly hormones A or hormone B spike up or secrete more. Okay, so neurosecretory factor and hormones, the changes in neurosecretory factor and hormones. And then what else? Biological changes, modulation of somatic growth. Modulation of somatic growth, this one relate with the growth. Okay, somatic is somatic cells. Somatic growth, suddenly the cells multiply very rapidly, or the demand of the body to grow. So so from the brain until to the signal to the growth of the body, coordinate or regulate by the system, by the body system. Suddenly these boy and girls will experience become faster, become taller and taller, or become increase in size. Okay. What else? Biological changes, initiation of development of sex gland. So the sex gland, the gonad, where the testis or ovary, transform themselves itself to become more matured form. Matured form meaning the testes are capable of producing sperm and also secrete hormones. The ovary also are capable of develop the follicles until ovulation, okay, and at the same time secrete hormones for girls, okay, for women. So what else? The physiological changes, the physical changes, female secondary sex characteristic and male secondary sex characteristic. Become rounder, become uh, hairy, okay, the girls and the boys develop hair, okay, so secondary sex characteristic. Next. Okay, the stages of puberty is pre-pubertal and then onset of puberty and then puberty. Okay, pre-pubertal is before the puberty start. Okay, it's like earlier. The onset is like the the start of puberty, okay, and then puberty. Pre-pubertal characterized by slow and but steady physical growth. So yeah, during kindergarten until secondary school, okay. During this steady physical growth, at the same time the brain mature, the brain growth and mature. During this duration also, when the brain mature, the sensitivity of the hypothalamus, anterior pituitary and the gonad become whether less sensitive or extra sensitive. Okay, so we will see that. Some important reproductive change do occur during prepubertal. It most obvious in the boys, whereby the testes migrate to scrotal position, meaning when that baby boy during baby, the testis is much near to the body. Okay, when the baby boy growing up experience the physical growth and also the brain maturation, the gonad also the testes more migrate to scrotal position, more outside. Okay, scrotal position meaning more outside, more not near to the body but more outside, scrotal position. Okay, suspensory ligament. So the ligament here, it elongates and then making this scrotal position. Okay, if this is not observed in the baby boy, then the baby boy will experience this how to say, cryptokainism. Okay, ini kalau dalam bahasa Melayu ni, kalau takut saya silap pula, angin pasang. Maksudnya the scrotal tu tak betul-betul keluar, dia ada yang mungkin tersembunyi satu atau satu terkeluar. Satu di scrotal position but another testis is inside. So that is that is abnormal. Okay, so scrotal position is essential. This one relate with the body temperature. No, not body temperature. The scrotal position is essential. Why? Because the scrotal position make it less degrees Celsius compared to body temperature. It's essential for the spermatogenesis, the sperm production. Okay. Okay, this graph here we will see later. Okay, this is like a summary of physiological changes. What is the changes? Breast development, underarm hair growth, enlargement of the uterus, the ovary also, the gonad, the ovary also increase in size. Okay, and then pubic hair. And also the adrenal gland. Okay, so this is some physiological, this is the physiological changes occur during puberty. Okay, in men's facial underarm hair growth, larynx enlargement, pubic hair growth in penis and testes, scrotal position. Okay, beginning of ejaculation, adrenal gland also. Okay. Of course, these changes here relate with the pituitary gland releases hormone. So this pituitary gland release hormone relate with the hypothalamus signal. Okay. Eventually, hypothalamus secretes something. It will give effect to pituitary. Okay, pituitary will secrete hormones. That hormones will give effect to the ovaries and testes. So in these ovaries and testes will secrete some hormones, certain type of hormones. That hormones will give changes to these characteristic here. Okay. So onset of puberty. The onset of puberty detected by the brain maturation increases in GnRH, gonadotropin releasing hormone. Okay, that means during boys or girls that stage, okay, childhood, the GnRH secretion is not it's present but it's not very high. Okay, so when the brain matured, so GnRH start to increase in secretion. So that is onset of puberty. Okay. When GnRH is present or increase in its concentration or level in the body, it will stimulate the anterior pituitary to release FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, and also luteinizing hormone. So these two hormone here secreted by anterior pituitary. Okay, when these two hormone FSH and LH present, it will give effect to the gonad. If it's in the boys or in the men, it will affect the testes. Okay, testes will secrete testosterone. If it's in the girls or women, the LH FSH will give effect to ovaries, and ovaries will secrete estrogen. Okay. So when testosterone and estrogen are present, it will give effect to physical changes. Okay, hormonal changes produce physical changes. Hormonal changes here meaning the testosterone and estrogen starting to appear or to be present in the body. Okay. What else? When this testosterone estrogen present, it will features the appear during puberty. Meaning the appearance of puberty start to observe, okay, or start to keluar lah, maksudnya appearance of puberty tu. Especially those that distinguish the two sexes of species. This wording here just to say, if we observe the children, the boys and the girls in children, we can see that their shape or the physical appearance is much less the same. Okay, but when these boys and girls undergo puberty, the appearance is different. It's change in appearance. When we observe high school boys and girls, we can see if that boys and girls wear the same clothing types, we can see this is a boy, this is a girl. Okay, so that here, those that distinguish the two sexes of a species, not directly part of reproductive system. Whatever that appear in physical features, that features will be distinguished lah. Okay. Okay, next. So this is the hypothalamus pituitary gonadal axis that I mentioned before. Okay, hypothalamus, the brain system, and then this hypothalamus eventually will secrete or release GnRH. So this GnRH will give effect to pituitary, and this pituitary will secrete LH, FSH. LH, FSH, these both here will give effect to the gonad. Okay, not LH just give effect to the ovary also, alone. LH will give effect to testes and also ovary. FSH also give effect to testes and also the ovary. Okay. So when this gonad, ovary and testes stimulated by LH and FSH, it will release the estrogen or testosterone. Okay. So this is like summarized. You can see here the graph is like fluctuating, increase and drop low, and then increase back and drop low. So this pulsatile, okay, this wording here, pulsatile fashion can be observed during prepubertal and until onset of puberty. Okay, because the brain mature, right? So during the brain maturation, the GnRH start to be released. Okay, towards puberty or onset of puberty, so suddenly GnRH is high and then drop back and then high and drop back. That fluctuation of pulsatile fashion of GnRH secretion is actually related with the sensitivity of hypothalamus pituitary gonadal axis. Okay. Okay, this picture here, okay, the white color, the right hand side, right? Okay. It's just to show you what factors that stimulate the puberty. Okay, CNS here is central nervous system. Okay, so this one relate with the brain maturation. Okay, So what happened during this CNS? What happened in the CNS, central nervous system, or even in the cell? Okay, in the cell we have genes, right? In the cell we have nucleus. Nucleus we have the chromosome that carries genes. So one of the gene is kispeptin, KISSR gene. So this gene here is a gene, essential gene that controlling the GnRH secretion. Okay, when this gene expression is rise or high, it will activate GnRH output. So you can imagine, no, not imagine. So this gene here is located in the brain, okay, in the central nervous system cell. Okay, so before this, the slide before this, we said about brain maturation, right? So when the brain matures, so eventually the cell increase in number, so the gene also express. When this gene express, it will give effect to the secretion of GnRH. Okay, when this GnRH present, it will activate the hypothalamic mechanism which deliver the GnRH to the hypothalamus. The anterior pituitary. Apa salah banyak sangat ni WhatsApp ni? Sabar So anterior pituitary eventually activated, okay, or stimulated, and then it will release the LH, FSH. Okay. Output of pituitary is gonadotropins. Other names or other term for LH and FSH is gonadotropins. Okay. If you see this wording here, this means LH, FSH. When this present, eventually it will stimulate the gonad, and then this gonad will release the sex steroids. Sex steroids here, estrogen, testosterone. Okay. So you can see, I think this here has a lot of explanation here. Okay. Eventually, sex steroid will give effect to behavior and also give feedback to the hypothalamus and anterior pituitary. Okay. Okay. So this is internal cues, internal signal. So the brain. External signal is the nutrition, the diet, the photo period, meaning the biological clock of that boy and girls. Okay, during night time, if these boy and girls exposed to more than 12 hours sunlight, kita tahu kan ada negara-negara barat yang sunlight dia panjang kan, the photo period here, it might give effect to the biological clock of that boys and girls, which might give effect to the puberty delay or earlier. Okay, so that one we have to read more on article. Okay, so this one with photo period, nutrition, body mass ni relate lah. Katalah budak tu kecil sangat kan, budak perempuan atau budak lelaki ni kecil sangat, tapi umur dia dah dekat 8 atau 7 tahun, 8 atau 9 tahun. These boys or girls that very small will not undergo puberty. So internal cues, the brain maturation also give factor to the puberty. The physical growth or the nutrition also give factor for the onset of puberty. Okay, so semua factor kena cukup lah. Brain mature enough, diet dia cukup, maksudnya makan dia cukup, dia tak malnutrition. Okay, so barulah these boys and girls will will experience the puberty, or will onset the puberty. Okay. Each pulsatile secretory episode of LH result from a corresponding. So this one just to say about the pulsatile fashion of GnRH. GnRH will, when get stimulated or this gene expressed, it will give high rise of GnRH pulses, right? And then when sex steroid present, it will give negative feedback to the hypothalamus. So bila ada testosterone estrogen, dia akan negative feedback, dia akan stop balik GnRH daripada secrete. So this high and low GnRH, pulsatile fashion of GnRH, is experienced by the boys and girls that undergo puberty ataupun nak start onset of puberty. Okay. Masa itulah budak-budak katanya remaja ada ada experience moody ke kan, semua ni relate dengan hormon lah, hormonal ataupun ada behavior change. Okay. Okay, this is to show you FSH LH secretion high in newborn. Okay, we can see here this graph here represent the whole life, the lifetime of a human. Okay, so you can see fetus here, the FH FSH is high. Okay, fetus is actually in the mother's womb. Okay, and then ni deliver lah, so the baby being born. Okay, you can see during fetus the LH-FSH is high. After being born to the world here, infancy here, this LH-FSH drop low, very low. So drop very low and as very minimal level. Okay, and then undergo childhood. Onset of puberty here, you can see the LH, FSH start to rise. Okay, so you can see here during childhood, adrenal key. This is one stage of puberty. Ada dalam notes tu adrenal key, apa berlaku dalam adrenal key ni. So masa ni juga adrenal key, you can see here, sini juga akan ada brain maturation lah. Okay, so barulah hypothalamic GnRH ni secrete, and then ada pulsatile tu lah. So bila masuk je puberty, LH, FSH akan peak. Okay, and then eventually will give positive feedback, meaning bila testosterone estrogen ada pun dia tak stop the secretion of GnRH, LH, FSH. Okay, so this is the whole lifetime of gonadotropin secretion. Ni salah susun lecture plan ni patutnya dekat atas tak pun yang abaikan Alright, pivotal changes in female. So ni dah cerita hypothalamic sensitivity to gonadal steroid negative feedback decreases leading to increased GnRH. Okay, the word here sensitivity of the hypothalamus. Okay, the hypothalamus is actually very sensitive with the high increase high secretion of GnRH, or it very hypothalamus is very sensitive with the sex steroid hormone. When the estrogen or testosterone present in the body, automatic hypothalamus will stop secrete GnRH. Okay, so when GnRH is absent, no GnRH, no LH FSH. Okay, no LH FSH, no estrogen or testosterone. Okay, this is overall. So onset of puberty or masa girls and boys undergo puberty, this sensitivity is decreased. Okay, hypothalamus dah tak sensitif dengan GnRH atau sex steroid. So bila dia tak sensitif, ada je testosterone ataupun estrogen tu level, walaupun dia ada, dia takkan stop secretion of GnRH. So wording here, hypothalamic sensitivity to gonadal steroid, testosterone or estrogen, negative feedback decrease, so less sensitive. Okay, so when this sensitivity is decreased, it will lead to GnRH secretion, high secretion. Okay, next, pituitary sensitivity to GnRH increases leading to increased LH. Sebab GnRH dah tinggi kan, so LH FSH akan tinggi. So LH FSH tinggi eventually lead to stimulation of ovary to secrete estrogen. Okay, so I think the critical point here to understand here this one, hypothalamic sensitivity to gonadal steroid negative feedback decrease. Okay, so this is what happened in females, this is what happened in males, sama je. Hypothalamic sensitivity to gonadal steroid negative feedback decrease juga. Okay, meaning testosterone is actually very sensitive. Hypothalamus is very sensitive to testosterone level. Okay, masa childhood tu kalau boys tu ada je testosterone, GnRH akan stop. Tapi once onset of puberty ataupun dia nak start puberty, testosterone hypothalamus takkan sensitif dengan testosteron. So testosteron tu boleh present je dalam body. So that means hypothalamic sensitivity to gonadal steroid negative feedback is decreased. So when this decrease, it will lead to GnRH secretion high. Okay. So GnRH high, LH FSH high, LH FSH high, sex steroid high. Okay. Okay. Faham ke? Boleh tak sesiapa reply faham ke tak ni dua slide ni?
Faham.
Next. Okay, this one after birth ni sama juga nak cakap after birth testosterone secretion markedly. Okay, just now we observe here is about LH FSH. How this LH FSH high during fetus and then delivered the baby born and suddenly it's drop low. Okay, this one, this slide here is talking about testosterone. So during fetus or during when the baby is in the mother's womb, the testosterone level is high. Actually, it's very high. This one is for the development of the gonad itself during masa ni lah dalam rahim ibu tu, masa baby boy besar, masa tu juga testis sedang develop. Maksudnya yang ni kita akan belajar dalam sexual differentiation and determination. Okay, when the doctor determine this is boy and this is girls due to XY or XX chromosome, after that the step is that chromosome or will express their genes to make the boy is testis, to make for in the girls to make ovary. Okay, so you can see here the fetus during fetal the testosterone is high. This testosterone high is actually for development of testis. Oh no, not development, for the pembentukan to start making the testosterone. Making the testis. Okay, and then neonatal ni betul-betul after deliver lah atau infancy. Okay, so you can see testosterone is low, drop very low. Okay, at certain stage during infancy akan ada increase of testosterone also, and then it will drop low again. So when this increase is actually for the migration tu lah, migration of the testis to scrotal position. Dia macam bagi signal atau spark supaya testis tu develop, nanti dia akan duduk di scrotal position, maksudnya luar daripada body. Okay. And then you can see testosterone is very low until pubertal. Okay. Ini dia nak masa infancy ni just this testosterone function dia untuk betul-betul making that testis into scrotal migrate lah scrotal position. Okay. Lepas tu dia akan low, bila nak masuk puberty ni akan nampak testosterone high. Okay, nak sekat it will increase. Okay, so baru masuk puberty. So this during testosterone high here during pubertal and adulthood here is actually for spermatogenesis, production of sperm. Okay, yang ni just nak bentuk scrotal atau testis tu. Okay, maksudnya sperm tak produce lagi, tapi masa entering the puberty phase is for the production of the sperm. Okay, the cell in the testis start to do their work to produce sperm. Okay. Okay, next. Okay, this graph here to show you the increment of GnRH. You can see here the girl's 9 years old. Okay. It detects the LH FSH. Why? LH FSH secreted when there is stimulation. Stimulation dia mesti GnRH. Kalau GnRH ada, barulah LH FSH akan secrete. Okay. So so you can see here the LH a bit high and then it fluctuates high and low, and the level, the concentration of LH during girls in 9 years old is like this between 2 to 4, saya tak nampak lah tu, unit per mil or molar unit per mil, okay, concentration. So you can see, if we compare these two, ni semua boys, ni girls, ini boys. You can see 15 years old, 15 years old is like dah puberty kan, okay. So you can see LH suddenly is very high, okay. Increase high and then fluctuate a bit and then it's a drop back. And this one is time, masa lah. So you can see malam atau tengah malam, the LH is high, and then towards the day, during the day, the LH is low. Okay, so ni biological clock tadi lah yang saya cakap photo period tu. Tapi dalam female or dalam girls, the sunrise or the biological clock. Maksudnya LH circulation tu tak effect, tak ada significant effectiveness with the biological clock lah. Okay, you can see LH rendah je. I mean fluctuate dia sikit-sikit. Tapi kalau in boys, at night LH is high and then during the day a bit low. Okay. So this one, see, you can see 16 years old, suddenly these boys here dah onset lah, B and C, a late pubertal boys. So you can see the LH suddenly very high compared to this. Okay, this one about 10, ni dah dekat 20 lah, 20 lebih dia punya level concentration in the body. Okay, so it fluctuates vigorously, but no significant level between daytime and nighttime. Okay. And young adult male, the level FH secretion of gonadotropin dah constant lah. So ni adult male dah constant. So maksudnya spermatogenesis tu dah berlaku saja dan body tu dah capable, dah kata apa, dah equilibrium atau dah balance, body tu dah balance dengan secretion of GnRH, LH, FSH, gonadal steroid. Okay, so dia dah constant saja pada tahap ini lah. Alright. Okay, this graph here, hypothalamic secretion is GnRH. You can see sama juga lah, fetal dia akan naik, lepas tu infancy, lepas tu puberty. Okay, circulating gonadotropin is actually the LH-FSH. Okay, tengok yang dua ni je. HCG is in the mother. Okay, you can see HCG, mother womb. Okay, cara nak tengok dia, fetal life, mini puberty, childhood and then puberty. Okay, you can see this one in males, so it focus on the testicular hormone, so meaning testosterone. You can see high during fetal and then drop and then a bit high, drop. Sorry, the blue color, the purple color, high, drop, a bit high, the postpartum position and then drop, puberty dia akan increase balik. Okay. Testosterone ni AMH is actually anti-Mullerian hormone, so ni untuk development of the thing, nanti kita akan tengok later hormon ni, tak apa sekarang tak payah. IB is inhibin, I think, saya tak ingat lah, tapi kat untuk slide chapter 3 ni you focus on testosterone ni ya. This is for male. Ada tak lagi? So this is for ni ada dua-dua lah, male and female. You can see gestation, infancy. Ni, this one is fetal, this one infancy, childhood. Okay, you can see FSH, LH, high, drop low, and then a bit high here. And then minimal level until puberty. Okay, GnRH akan start kat sini, pulsatile. Sini pulsatile in girls. Okay, you can see because LH, FSH will keep high and low. Relate with the estrogen progesterone secretion, relate dengan follicle development, lepas tu kita ada ovulation kan. Okay, that's why the high and low ni pulsatile. In this is in a boys dia dah increase, dia akan stable saja for the boys. Ni pun pasal hormones juga. Okay, childhood, puberty. Okay, dah banyak kali ulang ni, faham lah kot ya. Ada tak yang nak tanya? Tak ada Tak ada. Okay. Sama. Okay, hormon involved ni dah sebut banyak kali dah. Testosterone, estrogen, progesteron. Sex steroid hormone is testosterone, estrogen, progesteron. Okay. Ada wording lain, steroid hormone. If you remember your animal physiology, we learn about peptide hormone, steroid hormone. Okay. Steroid hormone dia datang pada lipid kolesterol. So dia punya mekanisme lain. Peptide hormone, protein, peptide hormone. So LH, FSH, steroid ke peptide? Seorang jawab. LH, FSH, type hormone dia, steroid or peptide? Guys, hello.
Peptide.
Ha?
Peptide.
Peptide. Betul. Okay, LH, FSH, peptide. So, bila cakap pasal testosterone, estrogen, this one is sex steroid hormone. Steroid hormone lah maksudnya steroid hormone. Okay. Apa lagi contoh steroid hormone yang lain? Animal physio? Saja refresh. Lupa dah?
Tak ingat.
Okay, teruskan. Ni boleh Ni simple kan? Maksudnya direct testosterone effect dia spermatogenesis. Testosterone effect dia development of secondary sex characteristics. Maksudnya bila testosterone present, it will cause, it will make secondary sex characteristic appear. When testosterone present, it initiate or it will stimulate spermatogenesis. Estrogen, development of secondary sex characteristic, and then also estrogen stimulate menstrual cycle. Progesteron, menstrual cycle. Macam mana estrogen, progesteron stimulate or give effect to menstrual cycle? Chapter 456. Okay. Okay, endocrine gland ni ingat so interstitial cells in the testis that produce testosterone. Apa nama lain interstitial cell? Dalam chapter 2 anatomy dah sebut.
Lady cell.
Betul. Okay, bagus. Maksudnya belajar. Bagus.
Lady
Siapa
kan?
yang jawab tu? Rasa nak belanja. Okay, next. Ovarian follicles in ovaries. So, estrogen comes from the follicle, ovarian follicle. So, ini sebenarnya ada spesifik kalau saya nak tanya. Sel apa yang produce estrogen? Sel apa yang ada dalam ovary? Ada tak? Ada siapa tahu? Sel apa yang ada dalam ovary selain oogonium atau usai? Belum sampai lagi belum sampai tahap tu. Okey, tak apa.
Sex cell. Sex cell.
Sex cell tu oogonium lah. Ada lagi nama lain. Tak apa. Maksudnya
Adrenal gland. Adrenal gland.
adrenal gland bukan gonad. Adrenal gland, endocrine gland dekat kidney kan? Tak apa. Nanti okay. Maksudnya korang belum come across to that cell term lagi lah. Kalau saya nak sebut sini, granulosa cell. Siapa ada pernah baca granulosa cell?
Tak pernah.
Okay, boleh start cari granulosa cell. Okay, follicle cells. Ada 2 type of cells there. Granulosa cells, satu lagi, yes, Pica cells. Alright, tak apa. Ni so ovarian follicles here, the follicles consist of these 2 cells, the granulosa cell or Pica cell. These 2 cells will communicate and eventually secrete steroid hormone for women. Okay, estrogen or progesteron mesti corpus luteum lah. Okay, tak apa. Okay, okay, this is female hormone. Estrogen, progesteron, a bit testosterone ada sikit dalam boys, dalam girls. Okay, so this is the effect. Estrogen actually name of okay, this is the type type estrogen, estradiol, estriol, and also estrone. Okay, progesterone, one goal is this goal relate to the pregnancy. Okay, so daripada mula nak receive the fertilized egg until the end. Okay, Testosterone role here, responsible hormone for sex drive, okay. Responsible for the female libido. So ni ada dalam female hormone. Male hormone, testosterone ada, estrogen pun ada sikit. Cuma type yang mana? Estradiol ke estron? Tolong find out lah ya. Estrogen ada juga ya dalam lelaki. Cuma bila ekstra tu yang bila kita manipulate estrogen ni, itu yang boleh ada apa tu yang develop breast semua tu Okay, this one physiology, what happened during ni activation je lah. Saya dah membebel juga pasal ni kan, activation of hypothalamic pituitary gonadal-axis. So it will induce enhanced progressive ovarian testicular sac. Okay, mari saya tengok apa lagi dah ni. Benda yang discard saja. Ayo, apa jadi ni? Apa yang saya present sekarang ni? Tak tahu. Present now.
Tak ada mesti.
The window. Okay. Nampak ke slide? Saya tak nampak ni. Okay. So,
Miss.
kita dah cover sampai sini lah lebih kurang Okay, later part yang ni, okay, kita dah cover sampai fisiologi. Yang ni tender stages ni semua adalah stages the physician, the doctor do like a categorization or classification to observe the puberty stage in the boys and girls. Dia kenapa doctors buat macam ni? Kalau dia tak dia buat categorization ni, kita tak boleh detect lah boys and girls ni ada masalah kematangan ada masalah puberty atau tak. So that's why we have ada satu lagi problem, delayed puberty or early puberty. Precoccus lah ni, kita panggil dia term dia precoccus puberty. Okay, saya type kat sini, nanti term-term ni tolonglah cari. Saya tak boleh nak cover semua. Precoccus puberty. Okay, delayed puberty or very early lah. Saya rasa precoccus tu very early puberty. Okay, yang ni saya rasa ni direct enough tanya stages. Ni adalah characteristic that the physician observe in the girls and boys to detect normal or abnormal puberty stage. Okay, the growth, the pubic hair, the external genitalia for the men, for the boys, okay, the breast development for the girls. Apa yang physically boleh observe, because ovary development kat dalam, so kita tak nampak dia increase in size. Uterus development kat dalam, kita tak nampak dia increase in size ke tak, so doktor tak boleh nak detect lah kan. Kalau the boys, dia akan tengok scrotal position, okay. Tapi tak boleh lah, betul lah. Tapi even sometimes scrotal position ada, but the testis tu tak ada. Testis tu masih ke dalam masih dalam body. Itulah yang cryptokidism tadi tu cryptokidism. Okay, so this one tak apa sangat. Rasanya benda yang tadi juga yang saya cuba terangkan. Okay, this is the stages of the puberty: adrenarche, puberty, gonadarche, spermarche, telarche, menarche. Senang je cara nak ingat. Adrenarche mesti relate dengan adrenal gland. Adrenal gland, what happened for the puberty at puberty phase. Puberty is pubic, something with pubic hair, so puberty. Gonadarche is gonad. Okay, spermarche sperm, telarche breast. Okay, menarche menstrual. So cara nak ingat tu lah adrenarche, senang je nak ingat kan. So these stages here experienced by the boys and the girls. Okay, cuma tak semua. Adrenarche experienced by the boys and girls. Puberty experienced by the boys and girls. Gonadarche experienced by the boys and girls. Okay, spermarche just experienced by the boys only. telarchy experienced by the boys and girls. Okay, cuma very obvious in the girls. Okay, menarche of experienced by the girls. Okay, growth spurt of course both. Okay, so yang ni semua rasanya notes dah clear enough. Adrenarche. Okay, so saya nak stop my lecture now. Yang the rest ni you kena baca sendiri. I mean kalau you tak faham apa benda you boleh tanya. Okay. Ni semua ni cakap pasal ni lah. Gonadarchy, what happened? Gonadarchy, gonad. So something with the genital part. What happened to the boys and the girls? Genital part of the girls apa jadi? Testicular enlargement. Genital part of the boys testicular enlargement. The girls the ovarian growth. Okay, so apa jadi pada ovaries? Apa jadi pada uterine? Okay. Genital organ changes. Macam slide ni berubah-ubah pula ya. Okay, testis development. Semua ni simple I mean bagi saya direct. So ada tak yang nak tanya? Sekarang ada lagi lebih kurang berapa minit ni? 7 minit, 8 minit. Soalan untuk chapter ni. Mungkin ada yang dah cover sampai bawah ni ataupun ada yang nak tanya soalan untuk chapter 2. Okay, boleh tanya sekarang dan type kat chat box tu ataupun you unmute your mic and ask directly. Ada soalan?
Miss nak tanya.
Yes, teruskan.
Tadi dalam slide tu kan, saya tengok slide mana tapi dia cakap no ovulation occur daripada first time kita period sampai 6 to 9 months. Kiranya
Yes.
kita period tanpa ada ovum keluar lah.
Menarche, yes. Masa mula-mula puberty, maksudnya masa perempuan experience the first menses, that menses actually the uterine wall kita panggil apa? Slough off, maksudnya jatuh kan. Masa tu tak ada ovulation. Ovulation is actually the oocyte expelled out from the ovary, right? Masa awal menses menarche ni tak ada. Bila cara the girls to know that she entering womanhood is menses, right? So the first menses is actually no ovulation happen. It's just the slough of the endometrium wall. Lepas tu after that selepas tu lebih kurang lah 9 months or 7 months tu the ovary, the follicle development akan berlaku dekat ovary tapi dia tak cukup lagi untuk ada sampai ovulation. Menjawab tak soalan siapa jawab? Siapa tanya tadi tak?
Saya. Okey. Dah, saya faham dah.
Okay. So maksudnya masa awal-awal dulu je. Masa awal-awal dia experience the first menses. Then the second menses tu selalunya akan jarak lah. Okay, ataupun dia ada tapi ovulation tak occur lagi. So bila the body and the genital part of the ovary and uterus dah makin stable ataupun makin stable lah kan. Maksudnya hormonal changes dalam body dia tu dah macam nak stable lah, constant. Body dah boleh accept dengan GnRH high, LH akan stage high, and then ada estrogen and then akan ada LH yang very high yang menyebabkan ovulation, dan body tu lepas tu baru body perempuan itu atau the woman will capable to ovulate. Ovulate maksudnya one egg going out from the ovary entering the uterus, right? Tu nanti chapter berapa? Ni chapter 3, chapter 5 kot, chapter 5, 6 kita akan cover ovulation, that part only, detail lah. So nanti you akan relate balik lah benda yang information you dapat sekarang ni. Okay. Rasanya slide sini rasanya menarche ni. Ovulation ni okay. The first ovulation does not take place until 6 to 9 months after menarche. because the positive feedback mechanism of estrogen is not developed. Positive feedback mechanism ni, siapa yang tanya tadi, saya tak ingat nama tu, tak dengar. Awak ingatkan balik apa benda ni. Awak kena, maksudnya soalan yang awak kena tanya ialah apa itu positive feedback mechanism of estrogen semasa ovulation. Siapa boleh salin sekarang ni. What is the positive feedback mechanism of estrogen in ovulation? Okay, ingat ni nanti seorang tanya balik saya soalan ni supaya saya boleh jawab lagi lah. I mean boleh terangkan. Number of ovulation fix, ya betul. Number of ovulation fix, untuk woman, yes. Not like fix, more or less sama number dia. Sebabnya apa ni? Germ cell masa baby, semua orang ada germ cell masa baby boy germ cell dia, baby girl ada germ cell dia. Tapi dalam girls germ cell tu eventually akan jadi oocyte atau oogonium tu. Tapi ni pun stages dalam chapter 4 nanti, lepas ni kita akan belajar chapter lepas ni. So number of the egg, kita cakap simple dia egg lah. Egg number of the girls is much less the same lah. Maksudnya dia dah fix. So soalan Yusof tu number of ovulation fix, boleh kata fix, tapi bukanlah maksudnya 50 kali ovulation je untuk semua woman dalam dunia, tak. Ada some women maybe more than that, some women less than that. So it relate back with the number of eggs masa that baby girl born.